Alright guys, to the top left hand side, starting off in this ZvZ series, our red Zerg player from Team Liquid is Snute. And very disappointed that he has to play this late after waiting for so long. Our pink Zerg player Stephano. I think that's already reflecting his play. The early gas pool, it's aggression from Stephano. He's going to crack out the aggression in game number 1 at the very least to try and pick up a quick win. Or at this point, maybe even just a quick loss would be a victory for anybody involved at the stage. I mean, I don't want to be negative, guys, but you got to be realistic. These guys have been playing for 9.5 hours just in this tournament, and it's so exhausting to have downtime between matches. You've got to wait. You've got to make sure you don't go away too long. You've got to kind of be around. Obviously, these players are generally going to be warming up before the tournament as well, so it's really insane because a lot of these guys will have been playing StarCraft for at least the last 12 hours, I think. You know, if they started warming up like a couple of hours before something, they really, really are just, they've been playing an absolute eternity in terms of time, and obviously they've had some downtime, but honestly, I know this is true when I'm casting, maybe it's not when I'm playing, but I'm really in this scenario where if I cast non-stop, it's much better for me than if I cast a bunch, then stop, then cast again. The downtime really kills me. So, by having the downtime, it might kind of tire these guys out more anyways, you know, even if they haven't been playing. So I don't know how these guys are playing right now. It's absolutely crazy. And we are going to be seeing these links coming in, and the 12th pool with the gas coming in behind it is underway. The Baneland Nest is here as well, so the aggression is underway. Snute will start to pull some drones, throws down a Baneland Nest defensively, which is what he needs here, most likely. A couple of links jump in. Ooh, good for Snute so far. Gets some really good damage on the initial Zergling there. That one will pull back and morph to the Baneling for the heal. The Spinecrawler on the way up, and Queen's about to pop. This is already looking good for Snute. He cancels the Baneling. Oh, this is such a good start from Snute here already. A couple of Banes coming in from the back. Obviously, Baneling connections can change everything so quickly, and link speed changes a lot as well. That Queen's going to give itself up. Oh, the Baneling's all over the place. Oh, the Banelings are actually very good, and that's exactly how the Banes can change everything in just a quick second. As we are going to get ready to go into the Spinecrawler finishing up. I mean, the Spinecrawler finished up is nice. Snute's on 9 drones against the 12. He has his own Baneling Nest, but he needs to actually get a Baneling up. Where's he morphing it? Next to the Spine, so you know what? Snute's probably going to defend. Stephano starts a hatchery. He starts to drone. We're going into the next little stage of this. It's not going to end super quick. Just going to be seeing this couple of links continue to move around here. Continue to see where else they go. And we are going to be having a Baneling going off to kill off a couple of those lings. That was Snute's only Baneling though, so he has to be careful here. Snute can't afford to lose too many more drones. I mean, that's another one, and that keeps him at a 5-worker deficit. So Snute is trailing a little bit right now. Can definitely make his way back into this. But it's not super pretty. We'll see how this goes, as we do have these lings coming down towards the bottom right-hand side of the map here at the moment. And we are going to be seeing the Overlord, the Baneling, the Queen. All of this on the way up right now to continue onwards for Stephano. Looking very standard. I mean, one of the things that Snute doesn't have is link speed as well, right? So Stephano's got to feel super safe on the 2 bases. You know, he's got defensive Banes if he needs it. He doesn't have link speed of his opponent to worry about. Snute's not looking good. It's not looking good, but at least he's back up in the work account, which, you know, link speed, while it's not amazing not to have, he does have a Spine defensively himself. He doesn't necessarily need to use his Ling Bane aggressively, especially on backwater. It's not like you can get rid of a 3rd hatchery super easily with Ling Bane. That's going to be seeing the Spinecrawler poking away at a few of those Zerglings trying to run on forward. So, trying to run on in here, we are going to be seeing a Baneling just being used to defend. Keeps the kind of Zerglings away from the main, which just denies the information. Doesn't get to see if there's link speed or not. Doesn't get to see if gas is still mining. Doesn't get to see if, you know, something crazy like a Rotron or a Larry's on the way down in the main base. I'm just going to be seeing the lings continue to gather on the low ground, but Snute's really just droning hard at the moment. Stephano's throwing himself into everything in terms of tech, tech setup, right? Lair on the way up, a Rotron and a +1 missile attack upgrade. All of these upgrades and, you know, structures coming through at the moment. He's throwing himself full into that while Snute's just about the macro. 3rd hatchery, drones, and more drones. Did we mention he's making drones? It's going to be throwing this Evo Chamber down in the back. And, yeah, I mean, Evo Chamber down in the back. Just Snute is starting to get up in towards his next stage of this. But he is going to be behind on the +1 missiles. He will be behind on the Lair. And so you will have to play the more defensive game here initially, which is fine if you don't have roach speed. Playing defensively is completely reasonable. So we've seen the few drones jumping into an extractor here on the natural expansion, and we are going to see a drone just from Stephano just patrolling back and forth over on the third hatchery. Getting a couple of overlords just set up here for the moment. And there's a hatch coming through from Snute. So, I guess at this point, I mean, 43 to 38 workers. Stephano has a huge army supply lead, and he's looking to attack with +1 in roach speed. If Snute can hold on against this attack, it should be nice for him, right? Because he's got the third hatchery advantage. He'll have his own +1 not far behind. He'll have roaches, and he'll have roach speed potential. So, Snute has the potential to catch up if he can hold this attack, but he has to defend this attack. Now, it is backwater, it's a large map, it's not a quick one to move across, but even still, it is, it is roach speed coming up here. Stephano's dropping creep with overlords to speed up his attack, and Snute doesn't have long to respond to this. He starts up 12 roaches. One of the biggest things for Snute here has to just be relying on this spine crawler, and the shorter reinforcements distance is going to be so important for him. So important. So we've seen these roaches again set up and ready to go. Spinecrawler pokes away at that first roach at the front. Roach is just going to be continuing to set up right now. We are going to be seeing this roaches jumping on that spine. It goes down. Roach is a bit of a concave from Snute. I like it so far. Targets down the Ravager as well. Gets a few lings up to help with the defense. Even just kind of, the first hit or two that the Spinecrawler tanked was great. And now he has the Queen's Transfusion here and there as well. That's a nice pick off by Stephano. Gets one roach without taking any damage. That's the power of the roach speed. In and out just like that. Stephano is going to be able to keep on making little moves like this. He isn't going to commit fully to this, though. He's got +2 on the way, so it's not like he's continuing to make roaches behind this and nothing else. But Snute's held on. Snute's held on, and as he realizes this, he can start up his own roach speed, he can start up his +2 missiles, and Snute can get into his own kind of more comfortable position of this game. Yes, right now he's maybe losing out on a little bit of ground, but he's going to make that ground up, and again, Stephano with the roach speed can back away from this so easily, so quickly at any moment. Third hatchery from Stephano is about to finish up here on the right-hand side. These roaches from Stephano coming all the way back down to the bottom right. Queen drops down a creep tumor. Some creep being spread around. I mean, roach speed +2 missiles. All of this is on the way at the moment. So Snute does start up with his own kind of production, and overall maybe a little bit of a lead. I'm trying to think what maybe could be causing Stephano to be down on supply. Is like anything that Snute's not started that Stephano already has. But I think the answer is no, really. I think the answer is just straight up no. I mean, I'm looking at this, I mean, Stephano's just down a few workers, and I think that's it, right? That Snute was just ahead by more economy for a little while longer. He held off Stephano's committed attack when Stephano didn't have a third hatchery. And that's what, Snute had to do. We discussed it in the cast. I said, just to back myself up here, I said, if Snute can hold this, he has everything to play for, and he definitely comes out with an advantage. Because of the fact, he had a third hatchery and so on. He has his own upgrades coming through now. Yes, Snute can't take advantage of his lead at the moment because there is no +2 for him yet. There's no roach speed for him yet. But as that comes into play, Snute can maybe try to play the numbers advantage, and we'll see how that goes for him. As a couple of queens are pushing away an Overseer out into the middle of the map. Stephano's army supply is pretty good as well, though. Snute is going to move towards a 4th hatch, so there's also not throwing everything he has into roaches. He's also pneumatized Carapace in it up. Getting that Overlord speed. So you can respread some Overlords, get some info, maybe just get the Overseers around, keep up to date with what's going on. These rocks are going to get taken down in the next couple of moments. Opens up the pathway a little bit. Roaches on either side here, starting to fight out between each other. A couple more corrosive bars dropping, but not really landing for either player just yet. Roaches and Ravagers continue to move up towards the upper left-hand side. A bit of a split up now. Overseer from Snute just keeping up with this army of his opponent, and now just has pretty much full vision of his opponent's army at any point. Snute's maxed out. He's ready to jump on a fight. On his own side of the map, a fight, yes please. Snute could not ask for more. And let's see if he can find himself the engagement he wants here. Again, this is Stephano walking right into the plan of Snute, right into everything Snute wants. Snute's Ravages a little bit exposed initially, definitely a big plus for Stephano. Although Snute tries to make his way towards Stephano's Ravages, doesn't have too much success. So initially, I do feel that Stephano maybe got a bit of an upper edge on this fight. But again, reinforcements distance is huge, and as Roaches reposition themselves, it feels as though at the very least this is an even trade out. Maybe with Snute winning out in the end as he dodges backwards and forwards just a little bit now. Those Roaches and Ravages of Stephano back away out into the center. Another hatchery on the way up here on the 4th base, and that is something which Stephano doesn't have. So Snute is not only holding off these attacks, he is continuing to he's continuing to build on his position, right? If the 4th base continue to come up and all the rest of it, Corrosive Bowels land on that overseer. That's a brilliant pick-off right there. And just gets rid of all of Stephano's map vision on this top left-hand side. But can't speak anymore. It's been too long of a day. Apart from this one single overload on the top side. So the only thing that that Stephano sees is that one overload, and that doesn't give him much vision. Yeah, mate, this is like whack-a-mole on hard mode. This overseer is way too fast to be caught by Corrosive Bars. No chance at all. As we are going to be seeing those couple of overseers coming through the center. Oh, that overseer coming back up to the top. They just move across with the army. Roaches did just burrow here from Stephano. He has tunneling claws, so that harassment potential is there for him. Snute's just playing so passive at the moment. I guess he's about to max out, and as he maxes out, it might be a better time for him to move on to the map. Because then once he's maxed out, he's got nothing else to wait for. Unless he wants to just tech up behind this. So, a few options here at the moment. We'll see which of them he will take. No Spire or any sort of shenanigans from either player just yet. And these few Roaches just going to be moving around up the left-hand side. And obviously the Overseer is just going to be so important for this. And I love the position of this Overseer in Detector mode. It's just going to catch anything coming in towards the main natural and third. And that's the problem with the burrowed Roaches on Backwater. It's just not really a lot of potential as to where you can send your units. And even if Snute doesn't have units here to kill them off immediately, he can send his units ASAP because you'll see them on the minimap. And that is almost just as important here as he does see this now. And he needs to respond, and he does start to peel some units away very quickly, actually. In fact, maybe even too many. Oh, he will come back because he wants to continue defending this as well. A couple of Spine Crawlers in position are going to help out here and there. Roaches and Ravages Stephano not able to make any progress on the 4th base just yet. Snute sends enough back to go and deal with this quite nicely. Actually, Stephano puts himself into the concave, though. And now Snute's the one attacking through a choke point into his own bases. Stephano's going to get a little bit sandwiched, which is maybe the biggest issue of all. But the Corrosive Biles are definitely Stephano's favorite. It feels like Snute eats every single Corrosive Bile on offer at the moment. That's painful. That's really painful as we're going to be seeing those Roaches and Ravages continue to fight. Roaches and Ravages Stephano backing away just a little bit at the moment here as we see these extra Roaches coming on around and a lot more Roaches coming up on each side of the map. A lot of army supply coming through, and we are going to be seeing again Roaches burrowing and continue to move away. The Corrosive Bars dropping but not really achieving much for the moment. Roaches and Ravages coming around the top side yet again. Grabs a Roach that's burrowed, a couple of them now burrowed. Oh, just gets that one on the final connection there. Does he have some detection here? He does. He's got an Overseer in each base now, I guess, or at least close to it. And that's obviously a big help here. Snute is down on workers, by the way, but his army supply is so much higher that if he can take just one convincing fight, he could just roll on through. And Stephano's a little bit split up here. Snute, a little bit of indecision, though, in terms of how he actually dodges those Biles, and he eats another couple of Biles. Such a huge army from Snute right now. So many Roaches. Oh, has to dodge away again. The Spine Crawlers definitely helps Snute fighting in this position here, but it's not an easy one because his hatchery is blocking him from really getting the full-on concave that he wants to fight with. He splits around the south side now, and that's something that Stephano was trying to do as well. As soon as that happens, Stephano just backs away to force Snute to fight down a ramp. So back and forth here, 15 minutes into game 1 of this ZvZ. Neither of them so far are really finding themselves the ability to, well, really put an end to this. It's been intense, but Stephano has the economy advantage, and he has the bank starting to build up now. But in theory, he should trade worse in a fight because Snute just straight up has more in his army. And that should maybe make up for the slightly more economy that Stephano has. It's a very intricate set of kind of equations going on here in terms of what's being made, what's going to die. Let's see how the fight goes, and that'll give us a bit of a better idea of what's going to happen, of course. In general, both players have a bank to rebuild with, but Snute should be able to win out the fight. I'm looking to see disadvantages of Snute right now. He has less Ravages, but 22 more Roaches is just insane. Sometimes just the sheer brute force power as he is going to die for this time. Walks through a couple of bars to get there, and another couple. Concave is there now, but again, more bars. I just don't know how many of those you can actually sit in. 1 or 2 to kind of get into the fight is maybe okay, but then to sit in like 3 or 4 more during the fight, just don't think it works out. Snute's going to lose a hatchery. Big counterattack by Stephano is working wonders. And Snute is just building more Roaches. He loses another 12 drones. Snute has absolutely no economy. He's going to be on like, what, like 10 drones and 190 army supply at this rate? Snute's going to have 0 income, and he is going to look to win this with 1 single fight. Crows of Baal gets an overload as he moves through the map. And there's the reinforcements coming in, and Snute will start to clean up. 12 drones, 187 army supply. Wow. Roaches and Ravages continue to spread themselves out. Stephano as well, just looking for the fight, looking to see where he can take it and how he can take it. Another corrosive ball drops down. Stephano's edged his way into other advantages though. Hive is up, +3 is on the way. Hydra's speed is about to finish up, so he's got all of these tech choices that he, that he can make. And I love this. He's got so many minerals, building up a wall of spines is an amazing choice for him. There's no there's no wrong kind of way to kind of make spines right now, Stephano. He's got so many minerals. In fact, I wouldn't even mind 10 more spine crawlers and just fight with them. Because Snute is looking to win this because he's got a 50 army supply lead. He is all in on this one attack right now. So Snute, this is it. He's got no income behind this. 8 workers. He has nothing in the bank. Snute looks to win this army, this fight right now. Let's see if he can do it. I'm a little bit scared of just how tech-heavy Stephano's army is. It is so Ravager and Hydra heavy. He has only 17 Roaches to tank, and that's, again, terrifying because you need the Roaches to tank, and that might be just a little bit too far gone for Stephano. Maybe those spines can help out. Here he goes. Snute can't waste time. Whether he has to walk into corrosive bars or not, he has to start going for this. He does get around the south side, so that's a good start for him. He's starting to set up this concave correctly, and it's still difficult for him to fight in properly here. Army supplies are dipping down. Stephano's able to reinforce so far. The corrosive bars, I mean, that's the thing. It might be a weak army, but if you can't get on top of the army, what does it matter? And the corrosive bars are making sure of that. Snute's now attacking in towards spine crawlers, and Stephano is going to make a monster of a hold right here to be able to take game number 1. An early gas pool build from him didn't quite win him the game. They gave him an edge here, an edge there. Then Snute kind of got back after a good defense. But in the end, Stephano has just about made this happen. Even winning this fight now is Snute. The spine crawlers that he can't break through to end the game. And again, Snute has 0 follow-up to this. He has no reinforcements coming across the map. Absolutely nothing. Those Ravagers go down. And that is GG. Well played. Stephano takes game number 1 of this battle. Top left-hand side, our red Zerg player from Team Liquid is Snute. And the bottom right, our pink Zerg is Stephano. Alright then, let's do this as we get into game number 2. It's going to be a hatchery first on each side of the map this time around, very different from what we just saw last time around from Stephano. Hatch Bull, I mean, obviously nothing really too crazy about that, right? I mean, everything we expected it to be. Here on Catalyst for map number 2, a much shorter map. Roach attacks are much more dangerous here just because of how quickly they can hit once leaving the base. Same goes for most sort of hidden attacks. You know, sometimes you see the hidden Zergling builds and stuff like that. So, yeah, I guess we'll have a look to see how this is going to go. Now we're going to be seeing Overlord on the way up in the main base, and it's going to be... yeah, waiting to see kind of how this continues. Really no differences, just, I guess, slight differences, like a couple of drones, no Overlord yet from Stephano. We'll see what that maybe, we'll see that maybe that brings us up. We'll see how that maybe goes. But, Yeah. Sorry. Just waiting for something to happen. Trying to actually analyze stuff right now is just not happening. Alright. Just ban this guy who clearly doesn't deserve to be around. Hatch coming down in the third base mineral line, and we are going to be seeing a hatch coming down. Maybe from Stephano, from Snute soon as well. I mean, there's really nothing too crazy there. As again, he goes Baneling Nest before hatch. I mean, it's a slight different way of doing it. Hatch then Baneling Nest. I mean, it's two very slight differences. No real changes so far. We are just going to be having the couple Lings backing away off over to the left-hand side. To the right-hand side, I mean, the Lings starting to skirmish a little bit here and there. Work counts even. Stephano's going to turn up the pressure, it seems. 8 Lings on the way, rallying them into the main to keep them hidden for a while initially. Now 10 Lings on the way up, so... getting set to go. More Lings on the way up. Baneling Nest on the way out, and as that Baneling Nest finishes up, a couple of Banes will come in. Stephano not aggressive Banes, though. Just Banes at home. You're going to see a lot of these Zerglings going to come around the left-hand side, and there's a lot of the Lings coming around the left-hand side. A couple of Banes from Snute will morph in on the top side of the map. A lot of Zerglings from Stephano going to come across, but he is starting to drone behind it, so it's just kind of that typical ZvZ for scenario where one player drones while the other makes Lings. When the Lings are seen, the guy that droned will make Lings, and the other guy will make drones. And it's just that little bit of a cat-and-mouse game back and forth. Although Stephano doesn't seem too eager and engaged in the cat-and-mouse part of it all, but he has to do something, because otherwise Snute's just going to keep on droning, and he just coming now towards the right-hand side. And Snute with a couple of Banes. If he can hold off on this work account without taking any damage, that would be absolutely insane. And that would actually put him into such a lead. The first 2 Banes go down for 2 Banes. There's more Banes here from Snute. Just needs a couple good connections. First Baneling is, it's okay. Second Bane's going to get 1 single Zergling, and that's all. Now Snute's kind of struggling a little bit here as they're both still making the same amount of drones in production, but Stephano will get a couple kills, and that should be, and that is going to be evening things up. So Stephano gets the damage done, which he kind of needs here for committing into the Lings. That's working out. Larry's on the way up in the main base, and again a few Zerglings coming down the right-hand side. Snute just trying to counter-attack, but Stephano has enough here to hold this off as they both go into the roach run. And the Lair at similar timings here, so they both got a good idea of when it's time to kind of move on along. Then goes off, kills a Zergling. And we are going to see again another couple of Banes coming forwards here to see what else they can do. Just trying to connect. Not quite finding it. Lings come in, a drone gets taken down. We are going to be seeing, again, Baneling's going off here and there. Nicely done to get some little bits and pieces of damage done. Bane's more coming in from Stephano, though. Looking for those drones. Stephano's starting to take a bit of a work lead from this, and now making 9 roaches already. I wonder if he's just going to go and kill Snute right now. He has still been making drones here and there, but 9 roaches. Okay, he's got the lair. Definitely roach speed. Did he just avoid +1 missiles? He doesn't have an Evo. Wow. 2 more overlords. It definitely feels like more roaches, right? It definitely feels like an all-in the near future. It has to hit before +1 attack, though, of Snute, because if it hits after +1 attack, Snute will have a huge, huge kind of advantage in being able to defend this a little bit. Zerglings around the right side here. Snute pulling all the way back up towards the top side, and I'm just going to be seeing the... I mean, roaches are Snute on the way as well. 10 workers up. I don't know if Stephano can kill Snute. If there's a little bit of an attack that he wants to go for. I mean, he must want to attack, right? 52 drones, he's cut completely. He's just gone into pure roach production. I guess his army supply really is starting to stack up now. Maybe just raise to roach speed. How far away is roach speed? 25 seconds. Gives him time. Gives him about 30 seconds to take a fight before +1 from Snute to take enough of an advantage to make that matter. Now, Snute, though, is ahead by 8 workers, and as time passes by as well, Stephano is also in the scenario where Snute is getting the advantage of those 8 workers, and he's starting to turn them into roaches. And that's obviously a pretty big deal as well. Which is Stephano going to start coming up through the center of the map. A lot of roaches up here from Snute, of course. I mean, he has been pretty much on pure roach production. Look at that army supply. The gap has closed so quickly. Snute just shutting it down. And Stephano, our roach speed is here, but he's not going to have +1 in his favor. And I think Snute is just looking straight towards a hold right now because he has the numbers, he has the upgrade. There's nothing that Stephano has in his favor going into this fight. Let's see if he can find something. A few drones will pull in from Snute, though. He's not 100% sure about this. Maybe just a few of Snute's units actually still in the production tab, but nah, I don't think so. I mean, a couple of drones go down, but you can see that Snute is starting to win out this fight, especially with a couple of reinforcements on the left-hand side. He's going to keep on pushing this away, and Stephano is unsuccessful. On the plus side, Stephano stops any sort of +2 or anything starting up for a while, so it's not like he falls too far behind. In fact, as we look at this now, it's 62 to 58 workers. Army supplies are pretty even. Stephano's about to have +1. He's going to go Roach Burrow and Tunneling Claws again. So once more going for that similar sort of style as what we've seen before. And definitely something which can... has been successful in the previous game, so it makes sense. Although, did he just cancel it and restart it? I think he cancelled it to prioritize +2, and then he restarted it once again. So Stephano getting towards that style once more. Snute goes into the Spire this time. It's something that never transpired for him against... it's something that never was actually used for him against Namshar. He used it as a fake out. Namshar scouted it, and Snute was like, okay, cool, you scouted it, then I'm going to do nothing but build roaches. And as you prepare for meters, you're going to be caught so off guard. And it worked wonderfully. And it's... it actually really did work surprisingly well, I have to say. It worked really well, so... Let's see, it continues onwards. A few roaches are going to get rid of these rocks here, and roaches and ravages of Stephano just cleaning out some overlords on the map. Soon actually thrown into a supply block here and there. Has Stephano had any scouting? Does he know about the Spire? No, he doesn't. I mean, that's a difficult part to always really kind of get a hold of in a game like this. But at least with burrowed roaches, you can pull the mutas around for a very long time. You can burrow here, burrow there. You know, really kind of get, you know, under the skin of the Mutalist player. And Snute starts at +1 flyer attacks. His gas is there for 5 meters. It's not a ton of Mutalisks, but it is still a fair amount. Difference is in the armies. There's 10 Ravages here for Stephano. If he took a fight, it could go pretty well for him, honestly. You know, I'm not against the idea of him maybe taking a fight, right? Like, it feels as though there's opportunities for him here. Meters haven't even started yet from Snute. He might just wait for his gas bank to build a bit large, to build a bunch at the same time, be a bit of a surprise factor. Issue is, the longer he waits, and the less he has out as these units come across the map, yeah, he has to go right now. Like, he needs them ASAP to help him defend against this attack. And even 8 meters, I mean, he's going to have to rely on these roaches to get a lot done initially, at the very least. Stephano, oh, this is a good fight. Good corrosive bowels on the ramp, and that's a dead 4th hatchery. So that's already something for Stephano here. He has to start wondering a little bit. Love that cancel from Snute. Hides the Mutalisks as long as possible. Does not want Stephano to see this too early. He's going to see it now. Stephano's kind of not committed anywhere just yet, but he goes up this left-hand side. Well, now Stephano has to commit to doing some damage. I love these roaches. They're going to pop up in the 3rd base, and Snute has no idea at all. They're going to get so much done, it feels like. Stephano has to trade well enough on the ground to be able to hold some sort of a counter-attack here. That's going to be one of the big things for him, the corrosive biles. If they drop like that all of the time, it's definitely going to happen. Snute's losing so many drones. 26 workers dead. More corrosive biles towards the ramp as we're going to be seeing a queen going down. I think this is so many drones disappearing. Yes, Stephano's going to lose this entire army, but look how much he's getting done. 42 workers killed. The Mutas are going to clean up, but Hydra's den is finished, and Stephano's just going to make a bunch of Hydras. Snute has no way of winning this, right? I mean, can he counterattack to a win? Is the kind of condition right now. He's counterattacking across. Stephano's losing more units. The burrow here, and the Mutas as they go across. Now the spawning pool goes down. That's just cheeky. I mean, Stephano doing what he can. He's going to have the high ground, remember, here as well to help him defend with this in the next couple of moments. One roach picked off. You can see it from Snute around the left-hand side. Units from Stephano are going to be coming in to fight this, and again, it doesn't look that scary, as a couple of Hydras are coming in from Stephano to help out with the damage output. He's got a Spore Crawler here as well, because that's going to help him too. He needs the Spore Crawler to help him against the Mutas, and that's why it's being targeted down. The Hydras are going to stand strong, but are they going to stand strong enough against the Mutas? He needs to get rid of the Mutas right now. If the Mutas don't go down, Snute can make this happen. Oh, more roaches from Stephano. Again, that doesn't help against Mutalisks. Is there more spore crawlers? Not at the moment. Stephano, oh my god, this game is insane. 56 drones should be joining the fight. It's so close. He needs to clean up everything he can. I mean, he's going to win the Roach fight. Then he needs the Queens to gather together. He starts spores. It must be like in the natural of the main or something, right? A 4th base? He needs spores everywhere. He needs multiple spores because these mutas are going to be able to get enough done to basically shut down the rest of Stephano's economy if he doesn't start doing something. Roaches will go across the map to try and draw the mutas away from doing economic damage. But these drones are in trouble as well. Snoot's only on 10 workers. Stephano is a single spore crawler which is on the way is found. Oh man. Well, that's one spore crawler down. There is a spore in the main. There's not enough mutas to fight a spore straight up. And double spawn the 4th might just be the saving grace here of Stephano. In fact, that might actually really be the saving grace of Stephano. Killing off some extractors, checking everywhere for more drones. There's only 2 drones left here for Snute, and they are, one of them's in this gas. Snute just knows it's over. He knows he can't fight with spore crawlers being alive, so he types out GG Stephano!